The Enlightenment Chasers. Royalties of Peace. We are still in the storms, back to peace that has no storm while holding on to perfect peace. It is February 18th of 2026. And this is the Golden Age Podcast, episode 74 by Marist Free, the Fang. All about enlightenment of the future. What is that to us if it doesn't continue with us? Enlightenment for the future started with our forefathers. Back in the dark ages of no clothing to wear, no technology to inspire, but with other subordinates like the animals were friends. And we today in an increasing in number. Our increase in number today is in competition with the Enlightenment, such that we begin to wonder what was really the point of living. When at the end, we are no more. You need not enter the ground to know what death is like. When laying on your bed asleep is sufficient. You need not enter the ground to know what death is like. When laying on your bed asleep is sufficient. Yes, you need not go to the ocean to know what water is like. When a drop in the cup is sufficient. Politics cannot be mistaken for hate. It is love that birthed that politics. It is love that gave birth to politics. We must reconsider our tongue by pondering from the mind this Black History Month, the month of love. Why is it black and same time love? When black is hate, when black is known for its stumbling ground, seeking for light to travel a peace. What is this darkness when we are yearning for light, for traveling mercies? Is darkness not beautiful? Such that when you want to make it a restful time, the nightmares of the daylight will not let you sleep in peace. Are you one of us, like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who today may be tired of dreaming, but we, tired of dreaming but walking? Who is more tired? Is it the one laying down or the one walking? Who is more tired of dreaming? Is it the one laying down or the one sleepwalking? Politics shapes love. But today, we seem to be against politics. Not because we don't love politics, but because of the kind of people we think that are governing, not suited, not suiting. They feel not suited, calling us barbaric, of greater number, enforcing, dismantling, and deportations, cleansing with economy, it's cleansing water. You may think it is by increasing the economy, but rather the decreasing of the economy. The rise of the tariffs may seem very confusing of what is politics to love. All we know is it doesn't take two wrongs to make it right. We may begin to question politics, of its changes affecting our forefathers' journey. May seem like it is affecting our forefathers' journey. The fear of going back into darkness instead of completing the journey into enlightenment. The golden age is here. What is that to us? In 2026, where the United States of America will be 250 years celebrating, officially celebrating. It is important to put a landmark in order to have a distinct achievement and how much to work for without desolation. Preparing for healthy love and relationships is love and politics, requiring that we balance in power. But it depends on the people working healthily with each other. May not be perfect, but there must be a policy which we can turn onto and rejuvenate. Depression can fall upon one of us, needing each other to restore, even when they are still in confusion. There are better ways to restore, but what is it like when we have failed for so long? What we are experiencing today is of how long we have fallen. The impact of our world today is of how long we have fallen while blinded from our foes, our weaknesses. Our foes are not our brothers, but our weaknesses. Politics is generated today through education, expecting a better than of yesterday, seeking door-to-door information, which always ended up different to what is followed in a classroom and of one mind, yet still inefficient. The need to understand the difference between laissez-faire government and authoritarian government. We seem to desire a laissez-faire government, but we do not understand how to work it out. Letting things to take their own course without interfering will require ethical thinking, an ethical mind, which can be generated from school. But today we show that we cannot implement what we learn in school on what is ethical to what is not because of our increase in number. There are times when we have to squeeze the right wrong for the benefit of doubt to suit our own desire, being the people behind the government. Sometimes only the wise can do it, but when those without knowledge capture it, it creates another hole on the balloon and air begins to leak out. Battlefield of the mind. Laissez-faire can be difficult with increase in population. If we really want laissez-faire, then we begin to understand what it would take to govern our people. The right people with the right mind. Quantity and quality does not mean we despise each other, but teach the young generation to build effectively, starting with us gracefully. Let's build an effective young generation, starting with us gracefully. We cannot stay silent, neither accept corruption. We must watch out on what we call discipline. Aware of those burdened with anxiety, needing therapy, governing, versus those ignorant of the end goal of a society, living lavishly. Living lavishly is not the problem, but understanding where we're going. Do we understand our forefathers? Black History Month in the Golden Age is rewarding considering how much we have accomplished so far from the Dark Age to today concerning enlightenment and wakefulness with full potential on achieving our goal of none left behind. Today, more inspired with AI, artificial intelligence, requiring lesser job. And we begin to complain, what about the people who will be left out of work? Before, our increasing in number was to ease labor. Then the number of people begin to increase than the labor force. That handicaps the force and affects the labor, causing vacancy, conflicts, war, corruption. To keep a job has not been easy in any part of the world, even in the United States of America. To get a job is one thing and to keep it is another. You must live to the expectation of your work. You cannot live in ruins trying to work in the White House. You must live in respect of where you work. You must balance with your workplace. You cannot live from the gutter to come to work in an office. Among professionals, your mindset is very important. From your bedside to your desk in the office or workplace does not mean that those who work in the gutters should live in homes that look like gutters. But their homes.
Hey, are you an author, a speaker, an entrepreneur, and you're wanting to get on more stages? You're wanting to take your business from here to here. Well, I want to...
Yes, you need not live from the gutters. To enter into a gutter house. But returning to your house should be of the expectation of your world today. While walking on the ground, you're not trying to keep being on the ground, but reach the expectation of our present world. Balance. There is need for balance. Where black or white race begins to understand human race. The need for balance. We are after enlightenment, not dissolving enlightenment. We are not breaking down light. While fixing the foundation or repairing the foundation, we are not dismantling the mansion, but only upgrading the mansion. Thank goodness we need not dismantle the mansion to repair the foundation. We can work on both together, but the mansion must maintain itself as expected. The golden age is still experiencing the dark age in it, but in the repairing form. The third world countries elevating as signs that we are beginning to balance into one. We are trying to reach a destination and not trying to keep both. Labor and the destination. Yes, the destination is where we started. The difference between reaching the destination and where our ancestors started is the labor that must come to an end. We must bring labor to an end. When we talk about the Black History Month, let's talk about some Black heroes, Black human race heroes. We know in the United States of America of President George Washington, one who stood for the formation of the nation of the United States of America, which is not really of its topography, but rather of the enlightenment of the people, the nation of it. And also of Sir George Washington, Governor, a black man President George Washington was of the white race. Sir George Washington Kavanaugh is of the black race. You may mistake both for the other. You can mistake one for the other. It's to remind us it is not about dividing a number of physical being, but rather increasing of the mind. Sir George Washington Carver a black man of the black race, born in the slave days of the United States of America, was a teacher and inspired the use of peanuts in different forms, which today we could understand with our transformation of enlightenment. Human race in its different color race should become rainbow to the world and not a death sentence. Having peanuts in different forms only brings joy and not a death sentence. It fills up the hunger part to satisfaction of beneficiary and not malevolence. Human race of its different colors seek to fulfill a rainbow, a color quilt. Where you say diversity is beautiful, is the goodness in it, which we must all return to, of indivisibility, where we all are one. Understanding these two great heroes, His Excellency President George Washington, standing for the United States of America to be formed. Today, the miniature of a human world, of multicultural, seeking enlightenment. We begin to understand where we all belong, of the inner mist we must repose and return to, of none left behind. Sir George Washington Carver of the black race must seem like a nobody in his time compared to His Excellency President George Washington. But at the same time was the dark age and golden age playing together of its highest of enlightenment, seeking prosperity, seeking luxury, seeking for the inner mist, where we all are one and indivisible, of enlightenment, our royalty. Being president or being a lay person in the society does not seize us from the enlightenment we must chase within to rest in comfortable homes with all technologies required, and entertainment of present time. Let us consider these two great personnels of the Black History Month, where black means opaqueness, where black means mortal, what does not last, meaning what is passing on. The journey must reach its destination. It takes understanding that we are passing on. The enlightenment must enter its glory, its fullness of potential, of none left behind. Equality must be in perfect peace and not in desolation. Upgrading should empower all while decreasing conflicts, understanding what exactly is the underlying problem, hindering us from fulfilling our true self of being. You cannot be at a destination while still on the journey, even though you have it in the mind. You must complete the journey, and we all are completing the journey together. Of those able to support those that are struggling. For when we look at the fingers, they're not the same. No competition, but encouraging each other from different levels and different lanes. Yet, in the full potential of luxury, achieving the end goal, the destination, perfect peace. This Black History Month of love, must we remind ourselves, politics belongs to love. For love gave birth to politics. Peace steals the storm, back to peace that has no storm, while looking on to perfect peace. Thank you.